Hello, my name is Paul. I'm one of the co-founders of RubEyes. Let's give you a brief introduction as to exactly what this new social networking app is. There's a longer video that gets a little bit more into the concepts, but we're going to keep this one pretty short, talk about a lot of the functionalities. With that said, very briefly, the reason we built RubEyes was to help people interact in the real world and get out from behind the computer screen. We believe there's a void but that technology's created. It's made us more socially connected, but it's made us more emotionally disconnected. And we really feel like there's just nothing like the feeling of getting out in the real world and hanging out with your friends, running into someone on the sidewalk that you haven't seen in quite a while. So that's really the purpose behind making RubEyes. So with that said, let's look at the functionalities very quickly. Let me say, this is not another friend finder app. The purpose of RubEyes is not so that you can see where one of your friends is on the map. In fact, one of the core functionalities in RubEyes is one of the things that we spent a lot of time on was protecting your privacy. It's very important to us, and we made sure and included a very comprehensive functionality we called visibility status. You actually can decide to be invisible from a particular friend or a few friends, or you can be invisible from everybody in your friends list and still have full functionality. That was a very comprehensive and complicated functionality to figure out, but we think you'll love it. And because it protects your privacy, it allows you to open up the world around you and experience what's going on around you without feeling like somebody's looking over your shoulder all the time. So that's very important to us. I want to get that right out on the table. So let's talk about what the app does. There's 6 functionalities that we built into the app into a very comprehensive app. There's a main map, there's proximity functionality, there's visibility status, as I mentioned. There's something we call meets, which most people would call get-togethers or hangouts or meetups. We call them meets. It's just simpler. There's zones and quiet areas, and I'll talk a little bit about each of those. So when you start out in the in the app, everything revolves around a main menu, and you scroll through the menu, you'll see main map on there. The main map, again, it's just a visual reference of everything going on around you. If there are any friends on your map that they've allowed you to see where they're at, you'll see them. You'll see where your meets are, your zones, your quiet areas are at. So it's the thought process of, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So there's a main map. The next functionality that's very important to us is proximity functionality. Each of your friends, and let me dig into this a little bit more. You exchange friend requests within the RubEyes app. It's completely separate from, say, your Facebook friends list. A lot of friend type apps use your Facebook friends as your contact architecture. We do not. We've got a proprietary contact architecture that we use, and it's a little more cumbersome because you do have to build another friend list within our app, but we felt like it was necessary because we wanted to, again, protect your privacy. And RubEyes really is a little more, a little closer knit group of friends that you really want to interact with from time to time. It's not, you've got 1,000 friends in Facebook. It's not that. It's you've got, whether it's 10 friends or 25 or 50 or 100. I mean, it's classmates that you were good friends with 10 years ago. You'd love to bump into them on a sidewalk, but they live 2 states away. Well, with RubEyes, you may be passing through the airport at Atlanta and know that they're there. So that's one of the points. So you exchange friend requests. You've got a proximity functionality with every friend in your app, and it's fully customizable. You can change the proximity distance settings from 500 feet to 50 miles. So depending on where that friend lives or how good that friend is for you. So there's a lot of specific functionality within the proximity alerts that you get if one of those friends comes nearby. And it's just something that you set it up and forget about it, and it just works. Whether you get near that person tomorrow, next week, or next year, it's just always there just to let you know if someone that you care about happens to be nearby. The next functionality is the visibility functionality I mentioned earlier. You literally can choose to be invisible from a specific person, or you can choose to be invisible from everybody. Very easily. Click of a button, it's called invisible. How simple is that? The meets functionality is a really cool functionality. We actually think this is probably the most interesting functionality, the most useful functionality in the app. You create a meet very quickly. Nobody likes to eat alone. Nobody likes to work out at the gym alone. Nobody likes to go have a cup of coffee on a Saturday afternoon. It's beautiful outside, and go have a drink after you get off work by yourself. You literally can get up out of your chair, create a meet in a few seconds, and throw it out to 10 or 15 friends and instantly start getting feedback. Yes, I'm coming. No, I'm not coming. Maybe I'm coming. You drop a pin at a location, name it, pick a few people, and go. And you instantly start getting invite feedback, whether they're coming or not coming, maybe coming, there's a comment thread, I'm running late, I'd love to come see. And that's the whole point, that if you're sitting there, you want to go get something to eat in 5 minutes, you don't want to eat alone. Create a meet, walk out the door, and literally start getting feedback and have people there or come there very quickly at the same time that you arrive, and you don't have to eat alone again or have a drink alone. So that's really the point of meets. Very comprehensive. It automatically gives you arrival notifications. You don't have to check in and go to the trouble of pulling out your phone. I mean, it just lets you know as people are arriving. You can create meets as open or closed. There's a lot of sub-functionality within meets. If you create an open meet, anyone that you invite can in turn invite additional people. So, on a Friday night, if you just want to go get together with some friends and you create it as open, you may end up with a big throwdown. So, and that's the point, is to help people interact and get together very short notice in the future. We look at RubEyes as a present tense, future tense social platform. Existing social platforms are primarily present tense, past tense, where you're talking about something in the present tense that happened in the past. We look at something that's happening in the present tense and also help you get together with your friends in the very near future. So we look at RubEyes as a present tense, future tense app. So that's meets. Zones. Zones is a very unique functionality in that if you are going somewhere and you need to know when somebody gets there, even if you aren't there yet, you just create a zone there very quickly, drop a pin, create a radius from, again, 500 feet to 20 miles, and when that person gets there, the app just lets you know that. You just get a push notification that lets you know they've arrived. If you've got someone that you want to keep up with as they're going up the interstate to college 5 or 6 hours away, you can drop a zone at the midway point and you'll get a notification, hey, they're halfway there. It's a little bit of a peace of mind functionality we built into the app. And then quiet areas is a functionality that if you don't want to get notifications at work or at your home, you just drop a quiet area. Anytime you're in that quiet area, you don't get notifications. That's very simple, and if there's 1 or 2 people, your boss or your girlfriend, that you really want to get notifications no matter what, you just exempt them from the quiet area. Now, again, there are a lot of sub-functionalities within these 6 functionalities that make the app very comprehensive, but that's what this is. That's just a very quick overview of what RubEyes does. So don't think of it as another friend finder app. It's anything but that. It really is a real world interact with people that you know, whether it's on a daily basis or someone that you haven't seen in 5 or 10 years that you went to college with and they were, fraternity or sorority brother or sister. You go back to a football game, hey, you find out they're on the other side of the stadium. They're 1,000 feet away, and you can very quickly reach out to them. There's a text button, an email button, a video chat. Just a really easy way to help people interact in the real world to kind of fill that social void that's been lost by being so easily connected via social media. One thing that I like to look at is RubEyes. It's sort of like Twitter in person. Twitter lets you know what your world around you is thinking. RubEyes lets you know what your world around you is doing. So download the app, click on the App Store link on our website, and just open up your world around you. Thank you.